Alright, this time it is time to actually finally start to prepare to enter a dungeon. I don't know why it took me so long to say that. But last time I was on Windfall Island and I did the last of the side quests on Windfall Island, which I forgot to mention, by the way. My mistake. This time I am now going to prepare to go to the next dungeon. That's what those two highlight markers are on your map. That's where the locations of the last two dungeons in this game are. That's going to be pretty exciting. Anyway, I started over here. As you notice, I warped to Dragon Roost Island over here. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and actually go south. Well, that's not the song you play. I want to go south one square over to Fire Mountain. Because if you remember 2 videos ago, I collected the fire arrows and the ice arrows. And they said the fairy queen said that, of course, fire arrows can melt ice and ice arrows can freeze fire. I'm not exactly sure if that's how physics work, but they do in this game. That's not the point. Anyway, the point is here, I'm going south 1 square over to Fire Mountain. So go ahead and do that here. And I just changed the time of day because I thought it looked better. Go ahead and shoot an ice arrow at the top of the volcano there, not there, where the fire is sticking out of. That's where you want to aim. Very nice. Yeah, fire freezes and it shatters like ice. Interesting, but also another thing that's interesting is you get a timer on your screen and you have to hurry up and get in there and complete the small trial before the timer is up. Now, of course, if you're prone to anxiety, you may not like this look at this, but I promise you will have enough time. And even if you fall, which I did here, you still will have enough time. It's just fine. Once you complete the trial, the timer goes away, even though you're still here. So anyway, this was actually a failed attempt here, and this Kargarok is baaing like a sheep. That's one thing I never understood about this game. I tried to jump over to that ledge, but that ledge like hit me, and I couldn't get back up, so I had to jump all the way down. So I sped this up, thankfully, because I know that you people just don't want to sit here and watch me try and climb this thing up. So I was kind of panicking at this point while playing. I was like, am I going to have enough time? Thankfully I did. And I killed this Kargarok just because I didn't want it to get in the way. There is a cannon boat out there which will try and shoot you. Thankfully for me, it didn't. So you just have to sidle across here and, well, the game is very picky about what angle you move the control stick. I almost fell off there because I got close to the edge. Be very careful. Anyway, once you come to the top here, go ahead and fall down this very large hole. Now, down the hole, of course, there are some fire keys. And something else very unusual happened in here, too. We have to hop across these platforms, and what I didn't notice is that rupee actually counts as weight, so I died, like right here in the start, because I didn't realize that rupee was on it, and that's what sank it. And rupees count as legitimate weight, as if Link was on it, so I had to basically start all over again. So I guess maybe killing these fire keys is something you want to avoid doing. Now that's not really the case, it's just that I happened to kill one over one of those obsidian platforms, and I sank. Anyway, you want to kill all of the enemies here, especially these, you remember them. We saw them in the Forbidden Woods a very long time ago. And here they are, they're back. Anyway, there is a treasure chest right here, and it's a very, very nice looking one as well. So let's go ahead and get these rupees. Oh, I missed that green one. But it doesn't matter anyway because I failed to get it. Let's go ahead and open up this treasure chest, which will be something very, very important that will allow me to access the next dungeon. Alright, these are the Power Bracelets. Now, the Power Bracelets have existed in previous Zelda games, but in this one, they are used for, of course, if you've seen this giant stone, then you can finally pick it up. You can't walk with it, but you can see Link is well, he's become Hercules, and he can now pick it up and throw it. You can't walk with it, but you can rotate it, and then you can throw it. After that, the timer will go away, so if you're prone to anxiety, you should be relieved. However, the timers isn't over just yet because we have one more island to do. The other one is the Ice Ring Island, which I'm sure you probably remember, because since I have fire arrows now, I can do it. And I think I dislike the Ice Ring Island challenge a lot more than I dislike the Fire Mountain challenge, because I'm not too much of a fan of these. I guess the Fire Mountain one is okay, but as soon as you encounter the Ice Ring one, it's just not my favorite one. So I went to the Forest Haven because that just happened to be the island that it's closest to. So go ahead and warp there too, unless you enjoy sailing very long distances. Alright, now that I'm here, you want to go west 1 square. Sorry, I mix up east and west all the time. You want to go west 1 square. And of course that will take me to Ice Ring Island. Now, like I said, this one is probably... No, this one most definitely is worse because, of course, ice is slippery and nobody likes ice-themed stuff in Zelda games. But anyway, the inevitable has to come. I should be thankful that there isn't an entire dungeon dedicated to being ice-themed. Anyway, there it is. You want to aim. If you look closely, you'll see there's a dragon that's shooting ice out of its mouth. And that is where you want to aim whenever you are shooting with your fire arrows. So go ahead and shoot the fire arrows, and there it goes. And you'll notice that this entire thing is sped up to 2 times speed. And that's because that I failed at this a whole lot. Anyway, there's a shard of ice here that's hiding a treasure chest. You may overlook it at first and think it's probably rupees and isn't important. But you'll go to find that it's actually a treasure chart. So, yeah, all you completionists, don't overlook that. Seriously, you might want to get that. That shard of ice is just a rupee, so I didn't bother getting it. You can if you want to, I guess. But just be cautious of your magic meter, because that's where your fire arrows come from. Anyway, you want to climb up the ice, and then you slide down it. And I guess the only thing I like about this place is how it looks on Wind Waker HD. But that's it. Anyway, you want to walk ever so slightly across this because it's very easy to slip and fall. And as you can see there, I actually fell an awful lot of times. Even like here trying to get back up, he didn't run. I guess I didn't have a running start, so thus I didn't build enough momentum to get him going back. I had a lot of trouble doing this, but eventually I did it. That was the last fail, though, I promise. Also, there's this cannonball tank boat trying to shoot at me. So anyway, I discovered a strategy on my own here. You want to crawl, and you won't slip on the ice. I literally just discovered that while I was playing. I don't know if anybody else knows about that, but, I mean, if you've grown up playing this game, you probably would think to do that. Anyway, so once you're finally done, climb up all these ledges and then go down the giant hole. We're in the throat of the dragon. We're in the stomach of the dragon, rather. Anyway, down here, I have 2 minutes left on the timer. I was worried that I would run out, but thankfully this is a very short trial. Upon coming on here, take a few steps and then you will slide. But I will let you know, you can still kind of control where you go whenever you slide. Just don't go too far, of course. I broke something over there and it gave me magic, but I guess I didn't see it while I was playing, nor did I hear it. Whatever. Anyway, you slide down this, and there are some rupees there for you. I got them, of course, but it's kind of difficult to control. Anyway, go ahead and open up this chest, because this is actually something for a little bit later. I could have done this later, but I really wanted to get it out of the way now, because once I finish one dungeon, I just want to go straight to the next, or I want to go to the next as fast as I can. Anyway, these are the iron boots, which they make you very heavy when you walk, but you can't be blown around by wind. They're not like the iron boots in Twilight Princess. In that game, you can wear them and you'll sink down to the bottom of water. In this game, you wear them and you do walk slowly, yes, but you use them so that you don't get blown around by this source of wind, which apparently is coming from nowhere. There's a small hole down here, and you can go down there if you'd like. Actually, I think you might have to go down here because I think this is the only way for you to exit. You come down here and you'll notice that there's a bunch of enemies that are frozen in these giant shards of ice. So you can save them if you want, but they're still going to try and kill you. maybe not the first reaction you think of after someone who just saved you from freezing under ice. But, well, there is a Dark Nut under here, so if you're not good at fighting Dark Nuts, then, well, I guess you can skip it if you really want to. But I fought all of them just because I wanted to, well, I wanted to fight a lot, I guess. And because since I say a lot in this game, it does not give you much of an opportunity to just fight enemies and have fun with it. Of course, I still ended up collecting skull necklaces from these moblins, even though technically I don't actually need any anymore. Ow, he's stabbed me because I was trying to parry him, but it never gave me the option to, so I just decided against it. Anyway, I went ahead and killed all of these things here just to show you what happens. Here's a jar with some rupees in it. That's not really what I was hoping for. I was really hoping for some magic, to be honest, but didn't give me any. Anyway, the moblin right here, thank goodness I used my parry attack and my shield to avoid him. But as you can see, look, I didn't try and grab his skull necklace, mostly because, well, I didn't need any more. And he dropped it upon death anyway, so which was fine. I still got it because oh no, the ice. Here's another jar with a lot of rupees in it, so you can shoot that if you like. Of course. And over here's the last one with some green bokoblins in it. I almost thought these were moblins at first, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead and fight them. Thank goodness they weren't moblins though, because bokoblins are ridiculously easy to kill in this game. Almost laughable. Anyway, there it is, our treasure chest, and it is wood, so that means it's not really going to be all that interesting. But if you like all this pointless stuff like I do, you can get 100 rupees out of just killing a bunch of enemies and just having fun. Anyway, there it is, 100 rupees. That's it for this place. Your timer is gone, by the way, once you get down here. I don't think I mentioned that. Your timer is gone, so... And going up here takes you all the way outside, so you don't have to, you know, backtrack through the other place. It doesn't really matter where you fall to in here, you can just swim across. Anyway, I decided to pick up this blue rupee again, and then I just noticed that there's a ledge over there to climb up on. Also, the sun rose, so it's playing the good morning music. Anyway, oh, I got hit by this. I got hit by this cannonball here because I paused just at the right time, and I noticed. I want to like point something out to you guys, that something I've always thought about Ice Ring Island. Doesn't the silhouette of it kind of look like an ear? That's always what I thought. I don't know about you. You're probably never going to unsee it now, or maybe you just will think I'm weird because I think of an island looks kind of like an ear, but I've always thought it looks like an ear. I don't know about you. It doesn't matter because I'm done here. So let's go ahead and warp now over to... I was trying to remember. Yeah, that's right. I need to go to Stonehead now. So go over to Outset Island. And Stonehead Island is just one skip away to the east of Outset Island. Because like I mentioned, that is the location of where the dungeons are. To be honest, technically, I don't think it matters which one you do first, but basically everybody does this one here first. Anyway, actually, before I go to Stonehead Island, I want to head over to Outset Island, of course, here. And there is but one more side quest for me to do over here. I just went ahead and made one more visit to Beetle's shop just to make sure that I had enough bait for this, because you are going to need bait for this, so this will be the very last time I buy bait. Alright, now with bait in pouch, or bait bag of course, I'm going to go ahead and use it. And if you remember from the very beginning of the game, I think this is the very first part actually, I had to round up, or I didn't have to, I just chose to. I rounded up these pigs into a pen, and one of them was black. And you may notice that like the other two pigs are gone, and now only is the black one. And the black one is going to be enormous once I get up there. Kind of makes you wonder if the black one committed some acts of cannibalism and became larger like that. So look, there he is. He's ginormous, and the other two pink ones are nowhere to be seen. So let's talk to him right here, and he's just going to say, look at how big my pig has gotten. Can you take him for a walk for me? Because my back hurts. So, I'm here to do exactly that. But I promise to all of you completionists out there, this one is worth it. Alright, so you go ahead and pick him up, and of course, this is not possible without the Power Bracelets. So I guess after completing Fire Mountain, then you can come here and do this. And again, I could have saved Ice Ring Island until later, but I just wanted to get it out of the way now because I don't really like having to do it later. Oh yeah, and I sped up the walking here too, just because it is so slow and just took way too long to get down here. So this is 2 times speed right now, so you can only imagine what this is like in normal speed. Anyway, past this lady with a jar on her head. That probably will hurt, just like this pig swarming around is going to hurt Link. Anyway, go ahead and put it down right here on this patch of black soil and drop some bait out, and this pig will sniff it and it will dig underground and I guess burrow, because pigs can do that. There's a red rupee here. Now, I'm actually playing this to get a piece of heart. I won't even, well, it's just a piece of heart. And the location is somewhat random for this piece of heart. It can be there, but it can also be in one of these 2 soil places on the other side of the game. I was really hoping that I would get it in my first few tries, because if I didn't, then I really didn't know what to do. So thankfully I did get it though, one of my first few tries, and you definitely should too. So after taking it across this bridge, where it takes a very long time, I'm going to go ahead and drop it over to the soil patch on the right. And this is the usual location of it. It's most likely going to be here. So this pig can burrow under the ground and it's going to search in the wall. And there it is, my piece of heart. Very nice. So that is actually, this is actually one of the last 4 in the game. I forgot to mention, there are only 3 more pieces of heart in this entire game for me to collect. So I'm almost done with them. That seems crazy. Anyway, now with that aside, that is all I can do here on Outset Island. I just want to cut this grass and other objects around to see if I can restore my magic, because I couldn't really find any opportunities to do that. And I always like trying to keep my HP gauge and my... There we go, I got some. I like keeping all my gauges full. My wallet, of course, I'm not really concerned about, because there really is nothing else in this game that you need big money for. So rupees are pretty much pointless to you at this time, but you can still feel free to collect some if you'd like. Anyway, that is all for Outset Island here. But that is not the last thing to do on Outset Island ever. No, there's a huge thing to do here, but that is not for right now. So I know I have to save all the suspense, even though you can just look it up. I'm going to go ahead and warp over finally to the Forest Haven, because there is one more spot on the map, well, technically 2, but one in particular that we just have not gone to yet. You really could have gone to this right after beating the Forbidden Woods, but I just didn't, because, I don't know, it was kind of out of the way for the method I played. But anyway, it's just northeast of the, I almost said Forbidden Woods, the Forest Haven. Which, interestingly enough, the Forbidden Woods is not on your minimap if you look closely enough. I never really realized that until I played it just recently, but it only shows the main Forest Haven where the Great Deku Tree is, and the little 3 islets that kind of come off of it. Anyway, go ahead and sail northwest, and I'm going to use a treasure chart that I got from the Ice Ring Island. So you can see the Pillar of Light right there, but that is not what I'm after first. First, I am after the fish guy here, and this is the second to last time I will ever call upon him in this game. Unless I do it by accident, which is certainly possible. But my sea chart is pretty awesome right now, because I can see basically everything on it. Well, there's only one more place to go to unlock the sea chart. Anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and salvage this treasure, but I'm pretty sure you may know what it is at this point. Again, you could have gotten this at literally like any point in the game, really. It just seemed out of the way. So at Bird's Peak Rock, it's treasure chart 36. Go ahead and pull out your grappling hook and salvage that up. I kept checking just to... I like being exactly precisely over the X, but thankfully it's not too picky. Anyway, go ahead and salvage this last treasure for... Pretty sure you know what it is at this point. 200 rupees. I won't even hide it. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. 200 rupees. Very well. Now it's finally time to do some main quest stuff. Aside from the 2 little fire and ice islands I went to, it's time to finally go and call upon the sages. And what better place to do that than to try and find one. So let's go over to Headstone Island first. Very well. Now, let's go ahead and conduct over to the east. Yeah, the east, sorry. And Headstone Island is just a skip away. Of course, it is at this point in time to where you will understand why it has the name Headstone Island. Because, well, it's a giant stone and it looks like somebody's head. So, that would certainly be fitting. Well, here it is, and there's also a piece of heart to collect here too. You use a Hyoi pear with one of the seagulls, and you fly it over to the top, and there's a piece of heart. I already got it though, so of course I'm not getting it now. So pick up this gigantic headstone, and well, you don't have to turn it towards me. I'm just doing that for effect. Go ahead and throw it. And I thought it dropped something, but that's just a crab. And the crabs aren't really entities you can interact with. They're just sort of there, and they move. So anyway, inside there is a huge stone slab in there, and looks like there's a new song for me to learn, and it's a 6-note song. We haven't done any of those yet. So if you don't remember how to conduct 6 notes to 6/4 signature, you want to angle the control stick to the right, and then of course the C stick needs to go wherever it needs to go for the song. So this is the second to last song on the Wind Waker that I'm going to learn. It is the Earth God's Lyric. Well, after a cutscene like that, this may or may not be a dead giveaway to what we have to do next. So, just like what Laruto said, the sage, we have to go ahead and find the one who holds that instrument. And that, of course, would be Medli on Dragon Roost Island. She was that little Rito girl that we helped out in Dragon Roost Cavern at the very beginning of the game. Now, let's go ahead and finally warp to Dragon Roost Island. I did that the first part of this video, and now I'm finishing off the video by doing that. So, if you have been to Dragon Roost Island, I don't know, just because you're curious or because you're bored or whatever, or maybe because you like the soundtrack there, you can distantly hear some harp notes being played, and that is actually Medli playing those notes. You can actually hear them like right now. If you're farther away from the island, if you're too far away for the music to register, then the Medli's notes will actually be louder. In fact, you can even hear them right now. Yep. Alright, if you're like me, you push that block down whenever you first came here, so you have a nice shortcut. And, of course, I use it all the time, but the Rito don't have to worry about that, of course, because they can fly and they have wings. But still, it doesn't quite seem very welcoming to have an entrance that's not very, well, human-friendly. So, anyway, besides all that, it's finally time to go and see Medli. So, climb up this spiral little, I don't know, it's not stairs, but it's a ramp. I guess maybe they don't like stairs all that much, but that's fine. Go out here, and here's the upper ledge. You may have been up here, out of curiosity. And, of course, you can use your grappling hook to swing across. Been a while since we used this, I suppose. Well, I mean, for swinging, of course. I mean, I've been using it to steal joy pendants and skull necklaces and night crests, but anyway, here she is, Medli. It's been a very long time since we've seen her. Well, after all of that, let's take her to the Earth Temple, and that is the next dungeon in this game. And the entire next video of this game is going to cover the Earth Temple as well as the boss. So it's been a bit since we've done a dungeon. I mean, the last dungeon was the Tower of the Gods, which already seems so long ago, even though for me it was only like I beat it like a week ago or something like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and take Medli over to the Earth Temple. It's a very interesting place, and well, actually, I'll just leave it at that. I won't say anything else about it because I don't really want to spoil it all that much. Anyway, so let's go ahead and finally take Medli here. And don't worry, I sped up the sailing. I guess it just took me a while to figure out where the sailing actually started. See, there it is. Anyway, here it is, the Earth Temple over here on Headstone Island. And Medli is the descendant of the sage Laruto, because if you did not know, the Zoras evolved into the Rito. You know, during a time whenever being a Zora would have the most benefits, seeing as how the entire world right now is an ocean. I understand just about as much as you do, but whatever. The Zoras evolved into bird people, and that's science. Anyway, this is basically the end of this part. The King of Red Lions will tell you what you need to do and what Medli needs to do as we go into the Earth Temple. It's going to revolve a lot on her. That's all I will really say about that. That is the end of this part, really. Thank you so much for watching, and I sure hope it helped you out a lot. And of course, if you didn't want to watch, then there's always a description down below. So that'll be it for this part. So join me in the next part where we will cover the Earth Temple.